up? It's Cinema Shogun here, and everyone wants to know if I watched the TMZ Britney Spears special last night, and if I did watch it, what did I think of it? Well, of course I watched it. I promised you all that I would. I popped me some popcorn with my good old-fashioned popcorn maker, and I sat down, kind of excited for the show. But I gotta say, I thought it was trash. I thought the documentary was trash, but not for the reason that everyone else thinks it's trash. You know, I look on social media and I see Britney Spears fans totally overreacting to this documentary. People are saying, oh my God, it was so disgusting. How could they? And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, stroking my beard, like, if you think that was disgusting, if you got offended by that documentary, you might not want to watch my Britney Spears videos. In fact, if you got offended by yesterday's documentary, I'm not so sure if this video is the video for you, because I feel like they were holding and pulling punches the entire time. I felt like, for the most part, the documentary was pretty fair, and it was kind of bare bones surface level. They didn't even point out the dog turds on the ground in all of Britney's videos. They didn't point out the fact that she wore the same soggy brown heels for 7 months straight. They took it really easy on Britney. In fact, half the documentary was just them talking about, oh my God, if Britney decided to perform again, she would compete with the top 4 or 5 in the entertainment industry. Britney could sell so many records, and she could go on tour and sell out seats in arenas everywhere. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand. I agree. But I'm not here to watch you fangirl out about Britney and what she could possibly do with her career if she decided to pick it back up again. I'm here to find out what's going on in her life. And for the most part, we didn't get any new information that we don't already know. We follow up with this stuff way closer than, I guess, TMZ, because everything they talked about is mainly stuff that we already talked about on this channel, and they didn't even dive that deep at all. Like I said, it almost was like there was a reluctance to dive too deep because they didn't want anyone to pick the documentary apart too much. But people are already upset by it. They should have just doubled down, but they didn't. They went totally easy on Britney. And the things that I've seen and that you've seen take place on her Instagram profile are way crazier than half of the stuff, or all of the stuff, they showed in this documentary. Another thing that stuck out to me is that they painted Sam in a really good light. Like, everyone was acting as if Sam was God's gift to Britney Spears. That Sam can do no wrong, and that Sam is just perfect, and he's there, and he's helping Britney, but he can't take it anymore. And I don't know. Something about the whole entire documentary, it didn't seem genuine to me, but not for the reasons why you all probably think. Some people hear that, they're like, it's TMZ. Of course they're not genuine. What I mean is, this documentary played out like one big commercial ad for Britney Spears' new book. They went really soft on Britney. They pointed out things that all of us already knew. They didn't get down to the nitty-gritty, the gristle, the meat and the potatoes of the situation at all. It was all, like I said, bare bones, surface level. And to me, it just all screamed like, hey, yeah, just in case you forgot about what's going on with Britney, here's an update. Make sure you check out, make sure you pay attention for when the book comes out. It all played off like that to me. In fact, I'm not convinced that Britney Spears wasn't in on this. Because I know the Britney Spears fans, they freak out. You can't say anything negative without them going crazy. But if you just, with non-biasly, like, just watch this documentary, it's not a big deal. They point out things that all of us have pointed out on Instagram. In fact, they talk about it in a more positive way than a lot of people And there was no bombshell, new information in this documentary at all. The one thing that we got that I think most of us kind of already figured anyway was that, oh, sometimes Britney maybe gets physical with Sam, during their arguments. And I'm like, of course, that doesn't surprise me at all. If you look at how Britney acts, I believe that she's capable of acting erratic and irrational because she acts that way on Instagram all the time with stuff that she chooses for the world to see. That's what you have to realize when you see this nonsense and this craziness on Instagram. That's what she chooses for the world to see. She looks at that and thinks, oh, this is good for everyone to see. So imagine what's happening behind closed doors. It's got to be way worse. If her actions and her mannerisms and the way she carries herself is so utterly bizarre on Instagram, then you got to know that when the camera's not on, it's got to be amplified times 30. But like I said, all in all, I was hoping that I would have more to react to, more information to go over from this documentary. But like I said, it's basically just a recap of surface level stuff that we've talked about for the last year and some change, basically. Nothing really new. But like I said, I was expecting them to, because I know TMZ is capable of doing so, I was expecting a little bit of a deeper dive. I was expecting maybe a little more honesty instead of, I would view it as almost brown-nosing of Britney Spears, because there's a lot of things that we could talk about and acknowledge, and to try to paint it in a positive light is almost impossible. But it feels like they were trying to. They were trying to keep things as positive as possible, which is weird when considering TMZ. But I know that they already knew that people would be going over this documentary with a fine-tooth comb. But someone commented something on Instagram to me that really stuck out to me, and I hadn't thought of it this way. But it makes a lot of sense, people. You might remember that I don't got the information right in front of me, but not too long ago, Britney posted on Instagram something very different than what she usually posts. Usually it's her trying on questionable outfits, her naked, or her spinning in circles. Well, she posted this video of her with this big knife chopping up fruit. And when I saw that video, I was happy. I'm like, okay, Britney's doing something else besides these weird, horrible dance moves while staring at herself all day. So I was really happy about this video. But you know what? It is weird that as soon as Britney releases this video of her chopping up fruit with this big knife, now there's a documentary that's already made, right? It was already made. There's this whole documentary, and part of the documentary is, oh, Britney's not supposed to be near knives. Are you catching on to what I'm saying here? In the documentary, in the TMZ documentary, they say that one of the conditions, one of the recommendations that people left behind for Britney after the conservatorship was to keep her away from knives. That she has a fascination with knives. That she sleeps with a knife under her bed. So isn't it odd that after a year and a half of seeing nothing but Britney spinning in circles, Britney trying on these horrible outfits, Britney crying about her family, you name it, all of a sudden there's one normal, slightly normal social media post. One of the only normal posts that she has posted. And it's her with a big ass knife chopping up fruit to make watermelon juice. And then the documentary comes out, oh look, yeah, Britney's got a fascination with big knives. And it's almost as if that video was released in a timely manner on her Instagram to link up directly with this TMZ documentary. It almost feels like things were purposely uploaded on Britney's Instagram to coincide and to go along with some of the information released in the documentary. Someone made that point on my Instagram, and I had to sit there, and it wasn't, I don't want to say mind-blowing, but it was like, you know what? That is a damn good point. That is a damn good point, because when I watched the documentary yesterday, after hearing how, the later portion of the documentary was just, oh, Britney could do so great. Britney could go out here and do this. Britney is wonderful. And they talked about Britney's dance moves as if they were great dance moves. And they were just painting Sam as if he's this hero. And I'm just sitting here like, not only does this not seem genuine, it definitely doesn't seem like the usual thing that we would get out of TMZ. This just feels like a commercial for her book. Like, hey, we know the book is delayed again. We're going to drop this so we can keep Britney in the public conversation for a little bit longer. Make sure you buy the book. Even at the end of the documentary, they're like, oh yeah, Britney's got this high profile book that's coming out. Be sure to read it. And it's just like, wait. If I didn't know any better, I would say that TMZ and Britney are kind of working together at this point to keep her relevant and to keep her name in the spotlight. I don't know, folks. Maybe that may be far-fetched or too far-fetched for some of you all to believe. But after watching that documentary last night, I really have to question some things. Because I've already been on this wavelength, if you will. I've already been on this vibe of thinking, I do believe Britney's dealing with issues, but I don't know if it's Britney herself or her team. I feel like they're taking advantage of the issues that Britney's going through, and they're using it to promote her, to keep her relevant. So this documentary, the wording in this documentary, the way it all played out, I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. Because I just know from the history of TMZ, y'all could have dug way deeper than this. You basically pulled up a few of her Instagram videos and made a documentary around it. And they basically parroted a lot of points that I've made in my videos and other people have made in their videos. If anything, it was one big ripoff of like my YouTube videos and other people's YouTube videos about the situation. And like I said, it all plays out like a big ad to me. But let me know your thoughts though down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.